Now, the idea came from other states with similar laws. The lawmakers behind the Texas measure say they've had positive feedback, but not everyone is all for it.
Reminds us that we are a nation that believes in a power greater than ourselves.
Well, the point is that we are America and not everyone does believe in the same God. So telling children that is very confusing.
And in God We Trust signs are already being donated in cities like Dallas and Houston. The Yellow Rose of Texas Republican Women donated a number of them to Cy-Fair ISD schools in Cypress. And a private company donated a batch of signs to Carroll ISD near Dallas-Fort Worth this week. Now imagine, innovate, and inspire. That's the motto for Nederland ISD, and they're definitely living up to the mantra. The district scored an A in the state's accountability rating. And this gauges how well a district sets its students up for success after graduation. In hopes of keeping kids safe and keeping that good grade, Nederland is looking for ways to grow. That includes securing schools. The school district recently proposed arming teachers and staff who volunteer. It's allowed under what's called the Guardian program. Administrators say it could be a game changer when minutes matter.
I done gained 5 pounds, I'm gonna have to lose it.
Some of your neighbors may be planning to run some laps this morning after indulging at the Beaumont Civic Center last night. People packed the place for a tasting for Some Other Place. Proceeds benefit the Beaumont nonprofit that's helped people in need for decades. Now, last night was the only fundraiser Some Other Place has all year long. This event was virtual the last few years, and the in-person return drew some big crowds. 12 News reporter Cameron Seibert went down to check out the fun. Silsbee police want to know what led to an early morning shooting that sent 2 people to the hospital. It happened in the 400 block of Kirby Street around 2 a.m. yesterday. A 22-year-old Silsbee man and a 19-year-old man from Orange were shot. They're expected to be okay. Investigators believe the gunshots came from the road. And if you have any info on the shooting, please call Silsbee PD. And the state fire marshals collected items from the home of former NFL star Earl Thomas in Orange to be tested in their lab. A fire destroyed the house last week. Orange County Sheriff's deputies say they had to get a warrant to search through the rubble because they couldn't get permission from Thomas. Sheriff Jimmy Mooney says it could take 6 to 8 months for a final cause. He says lightning was likely to blame. And charges could be coming soon following this 6-vehicle pileup on Dowland Road in June. The case is now in the hands of the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Beaumont police believe the driver of a Dodge pickup truck is responsible and suggested a charge of intoxication assault for that drive. The DA could make a decision within the next week. And First Lady Jill Biden tested positive for COVID-19. The test came Monday during her regular testing routine. The spokesperson says she developed symptoms while vacationing with the president in South Carolina. President Biden tested negative yesterday and returned to the White House. The First Lady will remain in South Carolina. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning into 12 News at Noon. I'm Kara Willis. It's a special day for Some Other Place as they hold their 20th annual tasting event. The fundraiser is a way for the staple of Southeast Texas to continue giving back. 12 News reporter Gloria Walker spoke with the Some Other Place director about how we can support the fundraiser. A follow-up on the tragic story out of Port Arthur last week. Officials found 2 submerged vehicles in a canal. Inside both were remains. One was Elton Harris, who had been missing since July. The other could be tied to a 14-year-old cold case. The remains were sent to UNT in hopes that the lab could give family and officials the information they need to close the case. And this morning, we looked into what happens after and what it takes to ID those remains. 12 News reporter Simona Barker reached out to the Jefferson County Crime Lab to get an idea of what that process looks like once the remains arrive. And we all love a nice home-cooked meal, but it's always tempting to grab a bite to eat from a local restaurant. And now, with high inflation, the gap between grocery store items and restaurant food is the widest it's been in half a century. NBC's Sam Brock breaks down whether it's cheaper to dine in or eat out. Parents, you send your children to school with the expectation that they'll be safe and learn all that they can. And really, the first week back should be exciting. New teachers, new clothes, new supplies, a new year. But for some students, it's not always so great because it might mean being bullied by a classmate. Our top story this morning is in Vidor. A sixth grader there says his first week back at school was not so fun. On his first day, he ran into a bully, and the boy and his family sat down with 12 News reporter Simona Barca and told her how hard it was this time around, especially because it started on the very first day.